Hey guys, welcome to episode 10 of the J&B Podcast. Today I'm sitting down with my good friend and client Bruce Oliver from Xynergy Realty to talk about his experience in the real estate industry, how he got into it, and I hope you enjoy this episode. So first of all, thanks for coming again, Cole. I really appreciate that. First thing I want to ask is what was your profession before real estate?
I used to work in the telecommunications as sales. So I started with a company called Teletech, who actually a contractor for Telstra.
Okay.
I used to work behind the phone as an operator, call center in a multicultural team. So because I speak bilingual, I speak Indonesian. So the main job was to serve Indonesian customers who don't speak English fluently, and they can ring Telstra and speak in the Indonesian language. See? And then from us, I think I worked there for about 2.5 years.
2.5 years.
Yeah,
okay. What's your education background?
My education background, I did a Bachelor of Business in International Business and Marketing.
International Business and Marketing.
Yeah, International Business and Marketing.
I studied International Business actually.
Yeah.
So, anyways, when was the spark? Was it, you know what? I'm going to open a real estate. I'm going to do real estate.
So what happened after that Telstra period finished? I resigned from then. I got a job in Vodafone. So still in the telco sector, but in terms of the career, is an upgrade because I now work in the corporate sector SME.
Okay.
Where I had to serve and then I had to hunt corporate clients to join obviously the Vodafone network. And I happened to come across a lot of developers and also real estate agents who then become my very good clients. And they sort of like influenced me a lot because obviously they saw the potential in me in serving the clients.
Yeah, in sales, right?
Yeah, in sales. You say, hey, you should do real estate. You could be making a lot more money, and then I was a bit hesitant at start because I know working in the real estate means you work kind of like 24/7, not really 24/7, but there's no time limit. You could be working weekends, Saturdays, Sundays, and there's no time limit, and that's one. And number two, the fact that little bit of commissions only, and then it's for me at that particular time, married, got a mortgage and all that. So it's going to be very big decisions for me. And I earned pretty good money in Vodafone. And for me to lose that is like, okay.
It's a big risk.
It's a big risk.
How old were you at
I
the
was
time?
30, this 2010. Sorry, 2008. So I was turning 32, just 31, turning 32. Yeah, so it's a big risk. Exactly what you said. It's a big risk for me to obviously lose the stable income, good income back in the days. I already earned like 6 digits back in the days, so it's a lot of money.
So it's very safe, it's secure.
Very safe, very secure, but at the end of the day, you still work for somebody else.
Exactly.
And then doesn't matter what. And then the thing with the sales is you can be a hero for 1 month, and then every first of each month you start with zero again, and the level of satisfaction, I suppose, is a bit different than obviously doing your own thing, right?
Yeah.
So cut story short, I made a leap of faith. So I didn't really quite tell my wife actually when I decided to resign from my position.
So you resigned first?
I resigned. I had a bit of chat with Ivan prior to that, because we were planning. Yeah. And I think I resigned just after the Christmas. It was in Jan and I started to have this discussion with Ivan prior to that. Yeah. And Ivan also had an interest in real estate. And cut story short again, there you go. In 13th of Feb 2008, we founded the company. Yeah. We went to ASIC. Both of us went to ASIC, pay our fees, I don't know, $400 odd. Signed the papers and bang, and then we shook hands, and there you go. That's the the birth of Xynergy. And prior to that, actually, we were thinking like what name that we should put, because that was part of the journey, what kind of brand. And we were thinking like, whether we should say 10-year Oliver or Oliver 10-year or whatever, the typical real estate, And we decided the name is Xynergy because we believe there is a synergy between the two of us, and that's has always been the value of one of the values in the company, because for us to believe that for things to go bigger, so 1 + 1 is not equal to 2 anymore. It could be a lot more if you work and collaborate with the people well. You see, so that's how it started. And real estate. Why you asking me why real estate? Because real estate has always been a passion for me. Because my dad back in Indonesia also worked in the real estate space, buy and sell, big land, and development.
So he was a developer, was he, or?
Kinda. He's dealing more into the planning, and then buying, sell of the land, and consult, do it like consultant to developers. Or that particular land is good for such and such, developments. You see, so that's always. And then I think when he was a bit younger, he not like a licensed builder, but he built houses and he sold, so developer, small in a smaller scale. So that's how I got it from, and obviously the biggest influence is due to the my old clients when I was with Telstra, and then as a matter of fact, not Telstra, Vodafone. Actually, when I was with the Vodafone, I was work kind of like a part-time in real estate. So that was the start.
So obviously you had some sort of experience before opening your own agency, right?
Yes, obviously. But very minimum. So it's really a leap of faith.
So how come it never occurred to you guys, like, you know what, why don't we just go work at an agency full-time first, you and Ivan, let's go work 1 or 2 years and then let's open Xynergy. What made you think, why don't we just open an office from scratch? What was it?
That's a very good question. I never thought about that.
Because the normal person, obviously, the most practical thing. Hey, you know what, Nathan? Let's actually go work for Bruce first, and then let's open our agency. So because that just increases the risk, don't you think?
True. If I had to go back and do it again, I probably want to do that for maybe 1 year, because our sales background, when we started the business, is more off the plan, not established properties like a normal local real estate agency. And the way we want to differentiate it back in the days, like that time, we want to capture the Indonesian market. There's a niche of Indonesian market when we started the first time. We felt that there is a gap that have not really properly served. And being foreigners, Indonesians, they could only buy brand new. So that's why we specialized in off the plan. We didn't really touch the established market, you see. But as we grow as a company, we understand that we can't always rely on the off the plan market. You see, and again, we sort of like self-studied on how to sell established properties. Which I think it would be quite handy if I had a bit of experience doing an established properties and how to win listings from the normal mums and dads. I think it would add value to my personal skills, which now obviously, we've done it for 12 years now. I had a bit of exposure, but I probably wouldn't call myself an expert in that field. I'm more into the off the plan sales, but I always think that selling off the plan is a lot harder than selling established, because selling off the plan, you're selling dreams. You're just selling. That's why it's off the plan. You can only see the plans, and then back in the days, you see the 3Ds. The 3Ds back in the days not as good as what you can see now. So if I could sell off the plan, I assume that I could sell the established properties.
And I guess it's probably also easier to sell off the plan because you believe in that dream too, actually, right?
It's
easier for you to be, you know what, I'm very confident in this.
I can definitely do that, but now these days I'm a bit more careful when I'm selling off the plan in depending on which developer I'm dealing with, where we're dealing with.
Surely, yeah.
Because throughout the experience, not all developers, they deliver what they promise.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, as an agent, you're always going to be on the firing line. If things go wrong, and things did go wrong last time, all the other clients, they're not going to look for the developers because they don't know who the developers. All they see is just on the contract, you know, XYZ at PTY Ltd, for example. Like who are they? You know, but us, we are the face of the company that represent the developer. We're always going to be on the firing line and say, why didn't go what you promise and here and there, you know, but the thing is, when you're selling, you could only see what you see. How it's going to turn up, you don't know, because it's really up to the builder when the finished products. You just hope and pray that it's going to look very similar to what the book, you know, try to illustrate, you know.
Okay.
That's why now we really very picky when it comes to working with the developer that we want to work with. Because we did get burned.
You put yourself at a lot of risk if you get dodgy people.
We did, correct. And we did get burned a few times in the past, and obviously we had to take responsibility and accountability with our clients, and that means cost us money and things like that. Thankfully, it's not. It's something that we can still. It's bearable, you know. But obviously, we don't want to fall into the same pitfall again.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
How did you said you came from a 6-figure job, which it is very secure. A lot of people would just basically
Even
slave away
now,
doing
I
that.
know. Even in 2020.
So how did you break it to your wife that you know what, I've actually already quit? Was she supportive to begin with? Or?
Okay, well, to be honest, I can't really remember what I say to her, but I know that all the things that I remember, that she was not happy. Like, what are you doing? What are you thinking?
Did you have kids already?
No.
Not yet.
No,
okay.
not yet. So why did you never discuss anything, you know, about this and that? You always do whatever you want to do and all that. But obviously I managed to calm her down and said, please have faith in me. I'm going to make it work. You know, I'm going to make it work. And thank God it worked well, you know. I never look back. Never look back, and it paid off, you know. Paid off. And
so
with plus. So
you don't think it's ever too late to like move into real estate or to leave your career and try something else?
It's never too late. But if I could change anything, I would definitely want to start the real estate when I was 18, you know. 18
I guess everyone says that.
18 years old. If I can turn back the time. So back to 31, a lot of people say, it's a bit late or not late. Well, you could always start early. But whatever experience that you have experienced in your life, it always adds value. It depends on how you want to see it, I suppose. Sometimes when you're not ready and you try to push yourself and rush things, it's not going to turn out well. You know, and then obviously throughout my experiences, journey as a businessman, as an entrepreneur, you know, there are some decisions that we made is a bit premature. And we rushed things, and it ended up not doing according to what we planned. And obviously we'll learn from it, you know. And a lot of the things, to be honest, that we've, you know, with Xynergy, it's through trial and error. You know, and as we grow, you know, more into experience, I guess the error now a little bit less than what we've done, like what we have done in the past, you know, because we are wiser in making the decisions, you know.
True.
And it always adds up. So there's no, I guess it's never too late to change, to do something, to do something that is new. It's just about picking the right moment and at the right time and the right opportunity, you know. And never be afraid, because you never be ready.
Yeah.
You know, if you just want to do it, you just do it. As long as you know what you're as long as you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Put it that way. If you have confidence, if you got a skill to do it and you got a time to do it, then go and do it. You know. If it fails, for example, at least you learn something from it. You know, so you can always go back to what you do before to re-prepare yourself again. To maybe to save more money before do another business, adventure. You know, like I always learn things from famous people. For example, you know, Colonel Sanders. He didn't make KFC until he's past his 60 years old. You know, is it too late? You know, he wished he started when he was 18, for example, but it didn't. But look what KFC. And everybody knows KFC.
Yeah.
And another one, for example, Abraham Lincoln. He didn't become the president until he failed 12 times. So he stopped at the 11th time. He's not going to become the president. You know what I mean? But he just keep persevering, persistent. That's the key.
Persistence, I can totally relate when you said you wish you were 18 and you did it earlier, because it finally worked. But you're also correct that everything has its own time, and it's a course.
Yes.
And even, I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, until now, I still regret going to uni. Actually, I spent 4 years in uni. I failed a lot of subjects, and I wish, and I feel like for me, the most education I ever got was when I started J&B. Was honestly the most education I got was the last 2 years. And then I feel, imagine if I didn't go to uni. Imagine those 4 years I did something else, you know. But it's a good point though, because I guess there's your mindset always changes throughout your life.
Yes.
And then everything, I guess, is just almost predestined, you know. That's how I see it. But my next question is, how did you meet Ivan?
I met Ivan in the church.
Okay.
I think it's 1995. We've always been a church mate. And even though we're church mate, we play basketball, you know, and I grew up playing a lot of sports as well, you know. So by nature, I've always been competitive as a person. So is Ivan. And I know Ivan had a few business ventures in the past prior to Xynergy. So I know he's always very, very entrepreneur. And so late 2007, that's when we started to talk about this. Even though we've been friends, but he's not a best friend, put it that way. Back in the days, we meet every week, but his group is not my group, you know. But obviously, when we started to have business together, that's when we start getting very close, you know, and now he's just like my own brother, you know. That's how I got to know Ivan, you know. And then we started to talk about, you know, what is our vision? What is our goal? You know, what is our value? I know just now you mentioned to me like, why we are in a partnership. So what's the key for a long lasting?
Yeah, because I mean, you probably know better than I do, but like, good friends doesn't necessarily mean good business partners.
Correct.
Like, even just because we're brothers doesn't mean we make good business partners.
Correct.
And you've been working with Ivan for how long now in Xynergy?
12 years. More than 12 years
so
now.
I'm pretty sure you guys had a lot of arguments. How do you maintain a friendship, and how do you also maintain professionalism?
Okay, this is very important, and it's never easy. You don't always see eye to eye all the time. But when Ivan and I started the business, we had an agreement. It's a gentleman agreement. It's never written on the like shareholder agreement when we started, right? So basically, both of us believe that there can only be one captain in the ship, right? And then we both agree that captain is going to be me. All right, so we respect each other.
Someone to make the final decision, right?
Correct. And then whoever is willing to be the captain and make the final decisions has to be accountable for every decisions that he makes. You see, and the other guy is just going to support. Not necessarily that he's going to agree, but out of respect, he's just gonna, back it up.
Yep.
And that's the key, that you always have to respect one another. You could have a different opinion because everybody's different and unique.
Yeah.
But the respect is you always have to maintain, and always how I should say this, keep your words. And thank God that both of us trust each other, and then we respect one another, and that's how the business grows, you see. And then I think in 2010, that's when Junius came into part of the partnership. He started as normal staff, and we saw the potential and all that, and then we invited him to join into the partnership. So now the three of us, the three of us, and it's actually getting stronger because each one of us realize our strength and weaknesses. So what I have, the other two people might not necessarily have that, and vice versa. So we complete one another, and we respect one another. And because now our level of respect is so high, so now even though if let's say I want to do something, I always discuss with the other people, and then because their opinion matters to me now. So if let's say I want to go to A and they say, oh, probably not the time yet, or I now these days tend to, oh, okay, maybe not yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But let's say if there's been a few occasions I still want to do it, okay, and the other two people, okay, if that's really what you want to do, just go and do it, Yeah. As long as I'm accountable with whatever the result that every decisions that I make. And I always say this, and I always teach this to all my leaders, and whoever that comes into the company and they want to ask my opinion, let's say they want to do something in a partnership, you see, because Xynergy is just one. We've got some other sister companies that we also have. We're also in partnership with other people. We're always looking at the 4 things when we go into partnership.
Yeah.
Which I think very important. Number 1, you need to have the same value.
Yeah.
You see, and that's very important because that will determine where you want to go, how the company,
what your vision is,
what the vision and all that. You see, you need to have the common goal, the visions in there. Number 1. Number 2, the reason why you're in partnership is because one of the other people must have the time to do it, and number 3 must have the skill, and number 4 the capital. So let's say for argument's sake, like if I want to partner up with you, let's say you've got a business proposal and say, hey, let's do this, okay? I have to see those out of those 4, you see. Let's say I have the money, if I have the money, I have the time to do it, I have the same goal, and I have the skill to do it, then I don't really necessarily want to be partner up with you if I have those 4. So one of the other people must fill in this criteria. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like filling in the dots, basically.
Filling the dots.
Yeah.
It has to meet it has to match. Because otherwise, if I have all the time in the world to do it full time, if I have the whole skill myself and I have the money to do it myself, and obviously the goal is still the same, I don't really need you as a partner.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, but the partner needs to be able to fill the gap that I don't have.
Provide the resources that you can
Correct.
necessarily
See, if I have the money, but I don't have the skill, you could have something like that, right? And I have partners like that, you see? He might not necessarily have the network, not necessarily have the capital to do it, but he's got the skill to do it, and then he's got the time to do it, which I don't have the time to do it. Then it's worth partnering up.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for us, the same thing with Junius and Ivan. It's always like that. You see.
Yeah.
We always complete each other.
Everyone brings something unique to the table.
Something unique to the table, and then what makes us complete. You see. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. When you started Xynergy, I'm sure you had big dreams and you had an idea of what Xynergy is supposed to be. What's the biggest thing that surprised you from that day until now? I mean, in the journey.
Oh, okay. Well, when we started, it's just the two of us, and I think the very first staff was our PA. And now we have like 8 offices between here and Indonesia as well. You know, we've got 60 staffs probably all around. You see, so that's something that I never obviously. I know it's going to be successful, but I don't know that we're going to be like this aggressive and going to be this successful. For example, you know, that's things that I actually never dreamt of. You know, so that's something that obviously all of us can be quite proud of. You know, like what the journey. You know, but most of the journey, the thing that I enjoy the most is actually the time that I spend with each single team members that we have. You see, where I feel that we have an input in their life. So when they come and join Xynergy, by the time they come and when they move out, they actually become a better person, not just professionally, but
personal development.
As personal development as well. I suppose that's my. Our goal. That's our goal as a company, you know? And then so that's something that we want to do, and then that's something that I never dreamt of, but here we are, you know, and plus more. So out of Xynergy, then we have all these bits and pieces that sort of like supports, and we leverage from there. We now also become a developer, you know, and and then we also do building management, facilities management, and many other things, you see, so that we can leverage from there.
But when you quit your full-time job, did you have a plan B in case it didn't work out in the first couple of years?
Not really.
You just had to make it work, huh?
I'm a risk taker.
If you want in real estate,
no,
what do you think?
because I believe that it's going to work.
You just, you just got to have faith, huh?
Yeah, just have faith that it's going to work.
Okay. Okay, if you weren't in real estate right now, what do you think you'd be doing?
So
if you weren't in real estate, what do you think you'd be doing?
I think I'll be a car salesman because I like cars.
Salesman. Oh, nice.
You know, I had the dream when I did telco. You know, I discussed with my wife last time. Oh, you know, I had enough doing these telco things. You know, what I'm passionate about. I like properties and I like cars. You know, boys normally they love cars. And I always like to observe the way the salespeople do their pitch and enjoy the process because I want to learn from them as well. Obviously, you got to believe in the products. Because I'm the type of person that before I sell something, I have to believe in the products. Because I love cars, so I don't think it would be a challenge for me to sell cars, especially if it's nice cars. Because the product sells itself. You know, the rest is just the customer service. You know, I always want to. Deliver more, an extra mile, do an extra mile for the client. You know. So I have the dream. I actually, if you ask me what my dream now, maybe I want to own a showroom. You know, I don't know, selling cars. You know, that would be you know, go to the office and seeing all those nice cars.
I look at that. I think it's for me. I mean, I actually thought about. I wanted to be a Mercedes car salesman. I was looking for Mercedes car salesman jobs because I thought. If you if you like something, it's not hard to sell.
Exactly.
Hey, this is a damn good car. You know?
I know. You can't really fault that.
And you make money from it, so why not?
Exactly.
Which I guess makes the job fun. But I guess that's one of the main things. Successful salespeople are the ones who genuinely believe that what they're selling is actually a good product or service.
Yes. Yes, I know. There's a cliche saying that any good salesman. And a good salesman can sell a fridge to the Eskimo. You know, it's yes and no, because there's a stereotypical belief that sales agent, whether it's in real estate or in a car, they're dodgy people. Because and I like to actually don't want to think like that. You see, that's why for me personally, if I want to sell something, I can only sell the product that I believed in. You see, I do not like to sugarcoat things because I'm a strong believer it's going to come back to you. If you try to cheat on someone, or you try to not tell the truth, it's going to haunt you back. And I don't like the feeling to clean up the mess after that, you see. And that's the very that's like temptations. You see, sales is very dollar driven, commission driven. Because when you do make sales, then you make money. And sometimes when you're trying to sell things and then there's something wrong with that, you just try to hide it and don't want to do that. And then it's not me. I might not be the best salesperson, I can tell you honestly, but I know that whoever that buys from me, I want to make sure they're happy with me. And whenever they want to ring me, I'm always on my phone call, because I know that the product that I'm selling is a good product. And then if even if there's something wrong, because I don't build it, for example, if the property I don't build it, I'm still going to be trying my best to actually fix the problem, and even take responsibility if something goes wrong, and if it needs to get fixed, even if it means it's out of my pocket, for example. Sometimes you just have to do an extra mile, so your clients always remember, and then
they appreciate it.
They appreciate it. For me, it's money you can always find, but good names, once you lose it, it's gone. It's gone. True. So that's why I'm very, very strict when it comes to my staff. When they try to sell something, you see, I don't want you to, I want you to become different than this people mindset that real estate agents dodgy people. If I catch someone do some dodgy stuff and cheating, they're gone. That's the thing that I can't deal with. If you're just being, let's say, clumsy or forget about something, things that can be improved, I always give them a second chance. But when you caught doing something dodgy, it's very hard. That's talking about the character. And I can't afford to lose the credibility of the company because of one person.
Okay.
That's something that I don't tolerate.
Well, I mean, that brings me to my next question, is managing staff. I think as with any career, people change careers easy, right? And in the real estate, I have a lot of friends who tell me, hey, Julian, I'm actually in real estate now. Because they see, I think you earn high commissions, real estate agents are rich, they dress nicely, but a lot of them,
nice cars.
But a lot of them come back to me and go, hey, actually, you know what? I actually didn't end up doing it. I'm doing something else now. What's your advice for someone who's just starting out in real estate and actually wants a long career in it?
Okay. Yes, in real estate, in sales. You're talking about real estate because you can be a property manager.
You can be property manager or sales agent.
And then you can be sales. And obviously the sales is where the money is. The real money is in sales. But I have to say it's not for everyone, because you really have to put your heart out, especially the first 2 years. Every time that I do interview with the new cadet, the candidate, don't dream that you're going to make a few $100,000 in your first year, because that's not realistic unless you're super good and you know what you're doing. And I've seen it. There's one in my actually there are a couple of people in my company that exceptionally good, and they just naturally good. They could sell anything, and they did 6 digits in their first year. But there's only a handful of people who could do that. The 90%, you got to do your hard yet. 90%, you have to allow yourself 2 years to make yourself known, because to be known as a, because real estate agent, good real estate agent, just like a celebrity. You want everybody knows you. On the street, your face everywhere, you know, you're being advertised here, advertised there, you know. It's all about being a real estate agent. So when it comes to, I want to sell my house, or I want to lease, that's the first guy that I want to approach, yeah? So, but obviously you can't be like that person in the first 2 years, because nobody knows you. Yeah? So you have to be, I guess you have to be humble enough to start from the scratch, to learn from the best, you know, from your senior. You got to do your door knocking, you got to do your mail drop, you got to do your social media now, for example, now, because now it's where the trend is, you know. You got to let yourself known. It may, now it's probably going to be a lot quicker because there is, thank God to the social media back in the days, but it's the mail droppings, mail dropping, door knocking, that's hard. That's hard. That not everybody can do that, do the door knockings. Getting abused sometime, you know, verbally abused, because nobody really like a door knocker, you know, what it was doing, you know, suspicious and all that. But that's what they did in order to become known. You see, in the area. There's once you got your first listing, and then you got your second listing. As the year goes by, everybody start to know who you are, and then before you know it, you probably can't handle any more listings because you got way too many, and that's when you start. That's when the cycle starts. That's when you have to start again, employing your PA, train them up to become one day to become like you, you know. So that's what I've been doing anyway. My advice is give yourself a time. Don't beat yourself up if you don't make good money in the first couple of years. You know, you're probably going to be on your minimum salary wages, but it's going to pay off if you really want to put your hours and effort into it. I always believe in that anyway. You know,
just persistence, huh?
Yeah, persistence. And there are three things that I can probably give in anything, not just in real estate, I guess in any career. Number one, you got to be happy with what you're doing. That's number one. That's key. There's a reason for all of us get up from the bed every day, come to work. So not just to collect paycheck. That's wrong mindset. You got to be willing. You have to be happy enough even to go out from your bed and go to work, maybe even for free, not doing anything. Not getting anything. Just to learn. But you have to be happy. You have to feel this happy, because if you're happy with what you do, the result is very different. Rather than you go there just to collect paychecks upon paychecks upon paychecks. It's like, I have to do it again. You know how many times every day? I still remember back in the days, you know, where every Monday after weekends, I have to go to, you know, pick up phone calls, and if you don't feel happy, then the result might not be as what you want, you know. Your career will be stuck and you're going nowhere. That's number one. You got to be happy in what you do. Number two, you got to be creative, you know. You got to be you have to be creative if you want to be different. And you have to provide this competitive edge. Why people choose you and not the others. You see. And number three is perseverance, persistent. That's very important, because many people fail because they're not persistent enough. I believe when someone knocks you down, you get up. Someone knock you down, you get up again until you pass through that wall. You see, until you get what you want, you never stop. Only then you're going to be successful. Same thing with like in any career, not just in real estate, but in any career. You see, you got to know what you want, and then you got to be persistent and never give up.
Okay. Well, what about that? But you have a mortgage, you have a wife, and you have kids, but you just hate what you do every day. What's your advice for them?
Well, you have to find the You got to find the reasons why. What's the purpose of you going to work, for example? If I guess this is the thing. If you have, well, you can still do what you do. For example, you say mortgage and those kind of stuff, and if you feel that, not everyone is a risk taker, you see, and obviously, fact of life, not everyone is going to be happy what they're doing. Yeah. But again, it would be the same. The questions with, not everyone is called to be a leader. There's always going to be a leader. There's always going to be followers. Maybe these followers are those people who probably not quite happy. Maybe, I don't know. You see. So, but it depends on the mental attitude, their heart, where they want to go. But I personally, I'm the type of persons that I want to be happy with what I do, and that's why I took the risk back in the days. Should I ask everyone to do the same thing with me? Maybe not. Depends. You see, it depends on your circumstances. Depends on everyone's circumstances. I don't know. You see, maybe if you ask me again back in the days, if I had 2 kids, $1 million mortgage, did I want to do what I wanted to do back in the days? I don't know. Maybe not. But again, that's not clear cut. But what I know, I can only tell you based on what I've done, and it worked. You see. Number one, if you want to be successful, obviously you got to be willing to take the risk. Because I think in life, the biggest risk in life is not taking any risk. Sure. When you wake up, when you go out from the door, there's always a risk you're getting hit by the car.
I mean, you not starting Xynergy is already a risk itself. Just working a job that's the biggest risk in finance, actually.
Yes. So. Those people who are actually not taking any risk, they are actually, it's, what, are you just going to stay at home all the day, all the time, So, but it has to be calculated risk. As I grow older, I'm now more calculated when I want to do things, not like blindly follow, because that's a gambling. If you want to just take everything as risk, it's just like you go, play roulette, black or white, black or red, But it's not like that. It has to be a calculated risk. You got to know what you're doing, though.
And I think another good point, I think that a lot of people don't actually think about is that it's finding the right partner as well. Because can you imagine marrying someone, no matter what you do, if that person is a bitch or she's just not good, you will not go far,
Funny you mentioned that, and probably I can add. Finding the right partner is like finding your partner in life as well, like your spouse.
Yes.
When you go into the business, signing the business together and having the shareholder agreement, it's like you go to the bed together with that person. This is something that I always remember when Julian said it. It's like you go to the bed with the person,
Yeah.
And if you don't know who he or she, you could end up in divorce. True. Because you go into business, it's not like a one night stand. It's for the long run. So if you don't partner up with the right partner, it's always going to end up as a breakup in a relationship, and it's going to cost not just like could be you could lose your brotherhood if you have a partner up with your brothers. You could lose with friendship. You could lose the friendship if you partner up with your friends. You see, so that's why you have to know the characteristics of who you want to be partner with. Do you have an aligned value? You see, because everybody is different, But if you can tolerate but there is the principle. If your principle in life are similar, then at least it's not too hard to assimilate. You will never be able to find 100%. Same like your wife or husband, you will never find 100% because you're always different anyway, because everyone's unique. But what makes marriage works, or what makes a partnership works, is when you are willing to accept everybody's differences as a substance to complete you. That's why you need to have the same value. You see, for example, if you want to marry someone, if one person say, I want to live in Australia, and your potential partner said, no, I definitely only want to live in China or in Indonesia, I never see myself living in Australia. Do you think you can be in a healthy relationship?
No, I think you're fighting an uphill battle from the
beginning.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's the same thing with partnership. Don't always see from how much money you could make. Sometimes people fall into this trap. Like, let's say if you're very skilled in doing this, and I could see, I think if we do this business together, but hypothetically speaking, if I know that you're a dodgy person, do I want to be partner up? If, let's say, my principle, I don't want to dodgy stuff, but I know it's the other person, and you can tell sometimes. You have this hunch. This guy is a bit something different about this guy, but you still have potential. Do I really want to partner up with you? Knowing that fact that really you're totally different when it comes to principle in life. Do you really want to partner up with that person? You see? So for me, I don't want to do it. Some people, they only see short-sighted. Okay, let's do this. Let's make our million, but after that, ready to break up. But every breakup is painful.
It's messy.
It's messy. You're just gonna make the lawyer rich. I hate dealing with lawyers.
Lawyers.
I can tell you that. Yeah. Oh my God. They make money out of our mess. So that's unnecessary cost. So it's rather start right from the start. You partner up with the right person.
Yeah.
That's very important. You need to have this. That's why you need to have the same value. That's the thing.
Yeah. You gotta
same
have that,
principle.
You gotta have that foundation.
The foundation must be correct. You see, don't be short-sighted just because of what you want. Yeah, just for short-term goals, I suppose. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you've 12 years in the real estate industry. You got any story or any experience that really stands out? Like any story that you can share with me?
What story? In what way? Like some transactional base or what?
You got any funny story or anything?
Funny story?
Anything memorable? Yeah. Anything happened in your experiences that's something that you'll never forget in your last 12 years?
It's not really funny, but obviously there's a few highlights here. I mean, I guess let me think about it. I remember the first deal that I did. It's not funny, but this is just example that
something that is notable for you.
Yeah, it's because it's something that I will never forget. Yeah, it's our first deal where I tagged him with Ivan for our first sale. So there's a client, Indonesian client, bought a property from us, and it took us between 7 p.m. until 12 midnight. So that was our first deal, but we actually did it in her apartment. And out of those, out of those deals, we actually got two deals straight away from that deal. So in a way, that tells us that obviously if I'm just a normal worker, I'm not going to work until 12 midnight. Yeah, but that's become something that is significant in our experience, because that was actually our first deal. And
it's like a breakthrough moment for you,
it's
right?
a breakthrough moment,
yeah.
And then it paid off. It paid off. Another one, if it's obviously is the deal is. Yes, there's a funny story. Now you're asking me this. When we had our first property for lease, this is very funny, super funny. So the property is in Burwood. We advertised it in realestate.com, and Junius was our very first property manager.
Okay, yeah.
So we got a call from this Chinese student. Go, hey, yeah. This is the property. Yeah, okay. Where can I meet you? Okay, can I meet you in Burwood Station?
Yeah.
Okay, Burwood Station. So on the day, that Saturday, Junius went to the Burwood Station, and then he saw no one. And start ringing the girl again.
Yeah.
Which platform are you on? Which platform are you in at the moment? Yeah. I'm on platform 2. I'm also in platform 2. there's a Hungry Jack nearby, McDonald's or Hungry Jack. Yeah, there's a McDonald's nearby. Yeah, Burwood is nearby, there's a McDonald's, right? Oh, but hold on. Which state are you in? I'm Victoria. And she actually talking, and she was in New South Wales.
Oh wow! That was Burwood Station.
That's so funny. Like all this time, woke up in the morning, try to open the door. I said, "Oops, actually in New South. I'm in Sydney. Oh, I thought you're in Melbourne."
Wow.
That's funny. That's something that I've never.
Was Bruce? Not Bruce. Was Junius very pissed off, or was he?
No, but it's so funny. It's funny.
Had a laugh. Yeah.
It's had a laugh. Like it could have been prevented when you say, are you in Melbourne or whatever? But no one knew that there's actually Burwood in New South Wales, or there's another Box Hill in in South Australia.
Surely, yeah.
So you could have sometimes, which state? There's something that you can learn from it. But that's funny, isn't it? You're actually from the other state.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you again for coming here. Is there anything else that you have? Anything you want to say, or any message you have?
Well, not really. I think I covered quite a lot.
Yeah.
I guess for those people that are really thinking to do business, I can probably say plan well. Okay, plan well. Don't rush things. Build your team. Surround yourself with the right team, because that's going to determine where you're gonna go. You see, if you don't have the right team, then you got no one to support you. Because you can't do everything yourself. It's impossible. And obviously choose carefully. Yeah. Always think for the long run. Don't always think for the short-term goals, and you just want to rush things and making panic decisions, because everything that to do when you try to make decision in rush is normally never turn out to be well. And what else? Always try hard, and give your 100% in everything that you do. And finally, be happy and creative. I think that's very important, especially these days. The young people, they're very creative. You cannot be always narrow-minded, very shallow. I want to do this way. If you have to be, I guess, flexible enough to change your business structure or way of doing things, and follow the trend, and not always going to be the old school all the time, you see. But there are things that you obviously have to keep things old school, but there are things that you need to be flexible enough to follow to utilize, to leverage from the technology. And lastly is obviously that what I mentioned before is the perseverance. That's very important, because you can't get success through shortcuts. No such things. Everything, you have to put things in place, and slowly, and then you will build it up. And from there, that hopefully you're gonna be finally, after you become successful, always remember to give back to the community again, and repeat the process again. So I think that's very important, because I always believe in the succession plan. You're not gonna be here forever. You see, so when you leave this whole world, at least you leave a legacy. People remember of you are for the good things of hopefully not for the bad things.
Okay, cool. Can I ask you one last question, Go?
Yeah, sure.
I'm getting my agent's rep. Would you give me a job?
100%.
Awesome. It's on camera. Okay, well, thanks again, Go, for being here. And see you next time. So I hope you enjoyed that episode of the podcast. Remember, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and on YouTube. I'll see you next time.